Hey guys, this is the video that I said that I would make. Um, I've been thinking about this also for a while, and as the title indicates, this is a very personal journey, a personal perspective, and this is by no means meant as a guide for your personal journey. This is my journey, but I would like to share it with you in hopes that it may help you with something that you may be struggling with. I am open to questions about this topic, but I am by no means an expert, and I am on this journey learning just as you probably are. So, yeah, that's the little disclaimer slash spiel. I'll just move this down. Anywho, so what do I mean by BDSM? Maybe a coping mechanism. Well, for me personally, as I've spoken before on this channel and my other ones as well, that whew, personal trauma, the S word trauma, it's they block everything in here sometimes, and I want to get this out. Can be very and is very power leeching. It leeches your power. It just usurps and takes over all of your power, and you feel helpless and hopeless, and you want to find a way to regain your strength, your power, your identity, yourself, and just some semblance of who you are. And for me growing up, it was always, the S word is not to be talked about, and you know, you didn't talk about it. And so it was a sin. Everything was a sin. If you if I wore a skirt that was too tight, that was a sin. If I looked a certain way, that was a sin. If I didn't do everything I was supposed to do, that was a sin. The devil was somehow controlling my life. That's what I was told. And then, I mean, I came across BDSM, not, and I wasn't searching for it. I wasn't looking for it, or anything like that. Um, I remember I knew about it. I mean, I think everyone does. It's not like a big secret. It's just that the details and the intricacies of BDSM, a lot of people don't know about it, and especially with certain movies coming out, it may give a false narrative about what it actually is. And so I began to shave my head on camera years and years ago, about 6 years ago, seven. And when I filmed it, I got, this influx of people subscribing to my Facebook, which I really no longer use. And is it lagging? Sorry if it's lagging. And so they were all like, oh, you shaved your head. They thought I was in the fetish community and stuff like that, which I don't have a hair fetish or a ball fetish, but a lot of people who appreciate my content are from there, so I've learned to, just kind of go with it. And I always tell them, I don't have a hair fetish, but they always say, oh, we appreciate it because we don't know too many bald women who've been bald this long because a lot of bald women shave, for the moment, and then they let the hair grow out, which is your choice. I'm just giving a little backstory, giving a little introduction as to how I really started like delving into BDSM. And delving is such a deep word for it. It's not delving, but being introduced to it, like more than like superficially. So I was getting all these requests, like I said on Facebook, and if I'm talking slow, guys, it's I just want to chill in the bed, and if you want a sped up version, I guess speed it up. Um, so I was like, thank you everyone for subscribing, for following me on Facebook, blah blah blah. And I started getting all these requests, and they were like, "Will you be my mistress? Can you join my partner and I?" And I'm like, "What did, did I miss? What? Have I someone like downloaded my video onto like a what website? Like, what's T girl? What's going on?" So I just asked them straight out, and that's what I can say about the hair fetish or the bald fetish community is that they're very responsive and in a polite way to your questions. Because I didn't even know like what, about the hair fetish. Which is I've made a video and videos about that, and probably will do in the future about like how I'm still sometimes just dumbfounded by some of the things that goes on in that community. But anyway, so they were like, "Well, you're a mistress, right?" And I'm like, what? No, I don't cheat. I don't cheat on my partner. I don't have a partner. And if I did, I wouldn't cheat. They were like, no, not that kind of mistress. The other one. And I'm like, what other one are you talking about? And then they explained it to me. And I was like, hmm, yeah, no. That's not my tea. That's not me. I wasn't saying that's not my tea at the time, but that's not me. And basically, they were saying, long story short, is that I should consider it. And I was just like, yeah, no, I don't really like because what they were asking me to do was like, basically they wanted to be the submissive and that I was to be the more dominant one, not more, but the dominant one. And I was just like, yeah, I don't like get off on like abuse and like telling people like what to do and stuff like that. And I don't, I don't want to like make because in my mind it was like, very degrading and that you had to be degrading and say degrading things to people and that was the only way that it would be successful. That's what I thought. For whatever reason, that's what I thought. And from what I know now and from what I've like researched and learned from other people and just asking questions and all that is that that's not really it. I mean, pain is a part of it. It's meaning the whole umbrella of BDSM, but pain is a part of life. I mean, it's not something that's mutually, a part of, not mutually, but exclusive to, uh, exclusive to BDSM. And I wish that narrative wasn't put forth and portrayed so much, but it is. And so maybe this can help some people understand that that's just not true. And when I began to understand that, when I began to really just, for me, and I'm like getting tingles just thinking about it, for me, it was about accepting who I really am, you know, and being honest with myself about pain and pleasure and the relationship between the two and my personal relationship between pain and pleasure and the guilt surrounding that and how I felt given my background and my childhood and that was I regressing back to the childhood ABUSE, and was I somehow still being trapped? That's why I gave you the backstory so that now you can understand what I'm saying. Was I somehow being trapped from my past, and that this was a way of it manifesting now, and that I hadn't actually gotten any better, and that I hadn't not that I hadn't gotten any better, but that I would only be a result of my trauma. That's what I felt. That's exactly what I want to say. And so I feared that because what I enjoy, and I'm not going to get too much into detail at this point, but what I enjoy, um, I can be triggering for me. Okay. And so that's something that I have to work with. That's why I say for me, my journey is it's in progress, but it's a very slow journey, and it's something it's that I don't want to rush it, and I don't want to just like, yeah, I want to do this, I want to do it, I'm do it right now, and it's like, no, I'm not doing it right now. I'm doing it right now, but in the right time and what's right for me, and so you know, I just want to say this right, Reason why I'm like don't want to huff and puff is because I was listening to this one video and someone said, when a YouTuber makes a video and they go like this, they're about to tell a lie. And it's like, no, that's pausing and thinking and like making sure that what you're saying is right. So ding dong, that was just so silly to me. But anyway, with anxiety, you overthink things a lot. Even the silliest like non-truths, you overthink them. Whew. Anyway, so actually heavy breathing, like breathing out and expressing that breath is very calming for me. So yeah, um, hmm, just ignorance is interesting. Not really. Anyway, so like I was saying, I have to work on and just continue to research and continue to like listen to myself and what I'm comfortable with. And slowly but surely, things, my likes and my preferences have been manifesting themselves to me, and I'm loving it. I'm liking the journey. Um, it's not as scary as I thought it would be. I have to say that, and it's not. Um, what can I say? It's not like as I don't know. It's just not what I thought it would be, and I know that's because, like I was saying before, I keep saying it, but it's true. Like the narrative of BDSM is just false. The public narrative of BDSM is false. The one behind closed doors. I mean, it's behind closed doors for a reason because sometimes people want to keep their secrets because they can keep them jeweled and protected. I understand that now more than ever. And so I'm learning and I'm coping and it's helping me. And how I'm saying it's a coping mechanism is because it's helping me to realize things about myself. And as a trauma survivor, realizing things, as Kylie Jenner would say, realizing things, it's very difficult. I know people gave her a lot of slack for saying it's the time of realizing things, but it's the time of realizing things, and realizing things can be very complicated. It's complicated. And when you finally realize that you're open to the realizations, and I'm pretty sure that's what she meant, and people just ran with it because Kylie Jenner, who her family is. But what she was saying, in my opinion, the essence of what she was saying is, I'm open to the truth, and that's difficult, because a lot of people lie to themselves. And like I was saying about, it's like the title says, this video, blah blah blah, I'm rambling. You have to be open to it, and sometimes, sorry, Dry Lips, the truth about ourselves, it scares us, and we don't want to say that the things that are seen as abnormal or the things that are seen as taboo are actually good for us or have been helping us. And like I've always said, and I will say in this video, and I want this heard clearly, as long as you're not harming anyone, and that includes yourself, live your life, live your life, live your life. And for me, this is helping me, and this is me living my life, and I want to continue doing it cautiously, carefully, and freely. And I going to do that. I'm doing it already. And I hope this helps someone. It's just to help you understand and get you to understand or begin to realize that most of the things that we know aren't as they've been taught to us. And sometimes the things that can help you cope and can be a mechanism of help and assistance and triumph for you are the things that you've been told to avoid. And I know that sounds stupid. I know it sounds oxymoronic, maybe, and I know it just sounds very much idiotic. Yes, very much. I'm saying it incorrectly because I wanted the emphasis on it. Very much, yes, that you have to get to know yourself. We are directed away from knowing ourselves so much throughout our lives, and we are told that this is right, this is wrong, this is taboo, and it's things are not that polar. They're just not, and I'm learning that as I'm working on my healing and coping and everything. I'm learning that, and my BDSM journey, my journey with BDSM is helping me to understand that. And that sounds crazy, but it's the truth. And that's all I can say. That's all I can give is the truth. Um, so I want to make a part two to this video because, as I said, this is just the beginning and I'm learning more and more about this every day. But yeah, if you have any questions and I can answer them, I'm like I said, I'm not some sort of like BDSM, aficionado and all this stuff. I'm learning, and if I can help you with something or answer any questions, I'll be more than happy to do that. So yeah, you can leave questions. I'm open to it. I don't have a problem answering them. And yeah, thank you for being here with me on my journey. You don't have to be. It's not necessary. But thank you. Ciao and toodles, y'all.